In this video, we'll be going over Form SSA-7008, Request for Correction of Earnings Record. This is a form that you would file with the Social Security Administration in the case you review your Social Security earnings and you find out that either previous earnings had been incorrectly reported by an employer, or that you have years in your earnings history that were never reported. So you would use this form to accompany any documentation that you would have so that the Social Security Administration may correct the records. So this form is a 3-page document. Realistically, the application portion is only 2 pages, and then the last page is the Privacy Act statement and the Paperwork Reduction Act. Assuming you have your required documents, the Paperwork Reduction Act statement estimates that it should take you about 10 minutes to complete this form. So let's go ahead and begin, starting at the top. Printing your name. We'll put my name here. We'll put my date of birth, but not really. I'll just type in something. And then your name as shown on your Social Security card. Well, if you are married, then you would probably put your maiden name, or if you had a name change, then this is what you would put on your Social Security card, or whatever your name is as your Social Security card reads. And then if you have any other names that you might have used in your work, in this case we'll say none. And then we'll enter in line 5, we'll enter our Social Security number. And then if you had any other Social Security numbers that were either used by you or your employer to report your wages or self-employment, then you would enter them in boxes 1, 2, or 3 under section 5B. But since we've used no other Social Security numbers other than the one that was fictitiously given to us at the beginning of this video, we'll go ahead and check none. So in box 6, you check yes if you want to give the Social Security Administration permission to go back to your previous employers. In fact, the employers that you're about to report in section 7. So if you cannot do that, then the Social Security Administration may not be able to credit any earnings history that you state in line 7. So be sure to think critically about this. You may want to discuss this in more depth with the Social Security Administration office about your particular situation. So, but if you have a disagreement with wages that were reported on your earnings record, or if you're reporting a change or trying to add earnings that were not previously recorded by your employer, then you'll need to complete item 7, and you should probably check yes in this box. If you are reporting changes or you disagree with self-employment income that was reported on your earnings record, then you can go to item 8 that discusses self-employment income. So depending on what discrepancy you're reporting, you'll go to either item 7 or item 8, or you may do both. So in item 7, you should enter in date order the employment for the years or months that you believe the Social Security records are not correct. So you don't list your entire employment history, simply for the periods where you believe that the Social Security records are not correct. And if you need more space, then you should probably attach a separate sheet. So only one entry per calendar period, and you should show quarterly wage amounts and earnings for any earnings periods prior to 1978, which probably does not apply to most people right now, unless you're already at the point where you're filing for Social Security and you want to make sure that the earnings history is correct. So for people that are in their, say, middle ages and who are not planning to take Social Security in the near future, you're simply doing financial planning on your own, or you're building a retirement plan, then you probably have earnings history after 1978, so you would put annual amounts in. So for section A1, let's just come up with an example. Let's just say that there was an employer that I worked for back in 2012, and this was in the grocery space. You would put Acme grocery store. Obviously, this is not a realistic state. Let's put a real state in there. There we go. And then you would enter your correct FICA wages as reported in your record. So if your Form W-2 or other evidence of earnings is different from what is in your Social Security record, then you would enter the correct earnings. Let's just say that your correct earnings that year were $85,000, and you can document that on a Form W-2. Perhaps that W-2 was issued late. Perhaps you had to go back and beat up your employer and it never got sent to the federal government. Whatever the case may be, this simply gives the Social Security Administration the opportunity to validate with your Form W-2. So let's imagine that the following year they just keep kind of screwing you up. And we'll just take this information and we'll say it was that same employer. But this time you had a raise to 90,000. There you go. So for each calendar period, you would have to go in and say, for this year, this is what your FICA wages were. So sometimes the wages reported on your W-2 might be slightly different from the Social Security or FICA wages. So take a close look at your W-2 to make sure that you're reporting the correct information. So if you don't have evidence, if you don't have a Form W-2, if you don't have a series of pay statements or anything else that can indicate or demonstrate your earnings, then you have to provide some written narrative in item 10. So item 10 is the remarks section. We'll get to it in just a second. If you don't have self-employment income that you're reporting on this form, then you can go ahead and go to item 10. For the purposes of this example, we'll assume that after you got tired of the grocery store business, you decided to start your own business. So we'll call it you started your own sales agency, Acme door-to-door sales, and it was right down the street from Acme grocery store. And you did this job for 5 years, and you would enter the earnings for the correct earnings for that period of time. So sorry, I didn't mean that. I meant the year of self-employment, and then let's just say that you made $50,000. If you actually had 5 years of self-employment, then you would have to go through each year and you would have to report your earnings for each year. So, and then if you had more than 2 years of self-employment earnings that you needed to correct with the Social Security Administration, then you would have to print out an attachment and continue putting in year after year after year. So that's how you would report your self-employment earnings. In item 9, you would answer a series of yes/no questions about your earnings from self-employment. So 9A, did you file an income tax return that reported your self-employment income? If no, then you would have to provide a written explanation in the remarks section. But if, let's just assume that we said yes, we did report this and it was on Schedule C of your Form 1040. If you have a copy of your income tax return and evidence of filing, such as a canceled check paying your tax bill, then you would enclose copies. If you don't have a copy, then you would have to state whether or not you've asked the IRS to give you copies from their records. So you can say yes, but there's none available. If you're going back further than the IRS's records retention, then that might be a possibility. If you have not, then you would need to request that the IRS furnish you copies from their tax records if your tax return was filed less than 6 years ago. So if not, then you probably are beyond the earnings retention period, or sorry, the records retention period for the IRS, and you would not have to ask the IRS to furnish you copies. We'll just assume that we did ask the IRS, or actually we can do that if we wanted to. Like, we have copies of our tax return, we have evidence of the canceled check that accompanied our tax return. But if you did not, then you could say no, but I've asked for copies, right? So either of those is acceptable. And then in the remarks space, you'll simply provide a written narrative for anything that's required. So anything, if you're not able to provide documentation for your earnings, either from your employee wages or from your self-employment income, then you would just use the remarks section to go into more detail. So finally, at the bottom, just recognize that all of this is a declaration under penalty of perjury, as with virtually anything that you sign and send to the federal government. So if you're lying, then you can be investigated and held responsible for civil and criminal penalties. But assuming that this is all a true statement, you'll sign this and then you'll put your mailing address. And then if you have a phone number, either work number or home phone number, and then you'll place it in an envelope and send it to the Social Security Administration office location at the bottom of the form. So, and then as previously discussed, on the back is the Privacy Act statement, which covers the conditions under which the Social Security Administration may or may not share your information with either other federal agencies, state or local agencies, or with contractors that do some of this work on behalf of the government. So you may want to take some consideration before you share this information. However, if you are filing for Social Security benefits and you notice that there are years of income that are either misreported or completely missing, then your best chance to maximize your Social Security earnings in retirement is to go ahead and request correction of your earnings record through Form SSA 7008. That's all we have for this video. If you like this video but wanted to get more in depth in the article, we've written an article for you, which you can find on our website. Simply go to teachmepersonalfinance.com, type in Form SSA 7008, and our article should appear. If you like our articles, please subscribe to our newsletter. If you like our videos, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. And as always, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please post them in the comments section or send me an email. Thank you very much and have a good day.